Okay, today take a look at the TORVA outdoor folding Adirondack chair. Okay. Okay, so it looks like we got mostly complete, but we do have a few bolts that we have to put in to finish the assembly. We do have instructions. One of the things I do like to see is everything is labeled, so we know exactly which part is what. So taking a look at this, it looks and feels a lot like a wood, but it is definitely a plastic. So this is a resin material, but we can also see just by the cutouts here and by the holes inside, this is one solid piece of plastic. This is not hollow. So this is a very heavy duty chair, and most of the small components are already attached. But the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna attach B and C, which are the legs, to the bottom, which is A. That is a heavy duty piece of equipment right there. Now to attach these, we're going to use bolt 3, washer 7, and nut 6. So I'm gonna take out the Allen and the wrench. We got washer 7, nut 6, bolt 3. One of the things I like to see is that these are actually nylon lock nuts, so we don't have to worry about these things backing off. So one of the things I'm noticing is that these holes are basically exactly perfect. Now that's going to make the assembly a little bit more difficult, but what's good about that is there's not going to be any slop in the actual product, so you're not going to have to worry about the thing wiggling and shifting around. I'm going to put a washer and a lock nut on the back. And then tighten that up. Now we don't want this to be too tight because this is supposed to be able to slide, so that's what makes this a folding chair. So if you really just like crank it down, it's not going to be able to fold anymore. So you want to get it basically to where it's just barely kind of tight, and then maybe loosen it up just like an eighth of a turn. So that is going to allow this to be able to slide back and forth. Then we can throw this peg. There we go. Right in there to lock it in place. Then we can do the same thing for the left side. We just want to make sure that these brackets are pointing towards the outside, because that's going to be what the armrest sits on top of. Okay, and then the arms. I believe we're going to be in this box. All right, so we got, wow, that is just a heavy duty piece of resin. So this is one of the armrests. So this is D, so that is the right side. Same bolts as before, so we got 3, 5, and 6. Then a washer and our nut. Okay, and then E goes on the left side. So nice tight tolerances, but it does mean that getting these things started is going to be a little bit tricky. So I'm just using the screw to kind of pull the arm in. Okay. So now we're going to attach the back. So we're going to use bolts number 2, and then also the same washers and nuts 7 and 6. So that is going to go through the armrest and then into the back. So now we're going to attach the back to the bottom. So we're going to use I. So we got 2 of these. These are both I. And we're going to use bolt number 4. And then a washer and a nut on the back. And at this point, I would say your best bet is just to get a number 10 ratchet, because this is going to make your life a lot easier. And then we're going to use screw number 1 to attach it to this hole right here. Then I'll attach the other eye onto the other side in the exact same way. And then last up, we got our supports. So this is H, that goes on the front, and then G goes on the back. And with this, you can kind of orient it whatever direction that you want. I'm going to try to get it to kind of line up with the leg, just because I think that looks good. And then we just got to line that screw up with the hole. And screw it in. And this one doesn't have to move, so we can just tighten that one up. Then our front support H uses screws number 5. And they do have a little screwdriver in here you can kind of assemble, but I am just going to use an impact. You shouldn't use an impact, but I'm lazy, so that's what I use. So with this, I'm looking, I don't see any pre-drilled holes, so I'm just going to use a screw to drill it in. You just want to make sure we got this fairly centered, so it's sitting just on the inside of this leg. There we go. Okay, and do the same thing on the other side. Cool. So that is the chair. So the most important thing that this one I think has to offer that you don't get out of those wood ones is those wood ones are really flimsy. Like you sit on it, it breaks these slats. This thing is going to last forever. That is a heavy duty chair. So yeah, overall, that is a very nice little chair.